Hello again. So after I got all those big splits on the main root done, I'm at the point where I gotta get the trunk level and set where it's going to be for hopefully the rest of the time. And this is really hard to shoot, so please forgive me. I'm doing the best I can. Um, that central balance point way in there, you can remember a long time ago how I was always saying I wanted to leave that about a half a millimeter taller than it needed to be. Well, now I'm at the point where I got to have that central balance point be even with the point where I made those splits on the big roots. And those are right here and here and here. And you can notice this one and this one, they're actually touching the wood. So they're kind of done. It's a long process. I'll go around this a few times and I'll take it on and off the stand and I'll let it sit with tension on that center mount point and without tension on the mount point. And sooner or later, I'll get the trunk where I want it to be. But you can notice, you can see that if I put my finger on this one and I push down just a little bit, that one is not touching the wood yet. And so how we go about getting this one set up is I got my round disc that you guys have seen before in here. And because it's got a slat in it, if I just line it up with that root and then push it in, now I can take this bunch of roots and I can get in there with my hand and I can just pull them down really hard, put some muscles into it, maybe give them a little more bend, pull them down again, and then we'll slide the round plate back up and we'll get it. Ooh, I think I might have done it so you guys can see it all. Now if I push on the top of that one, that big bunch of roots there, it doesn't bounce anymore. So that's what I've been doing this whole time. And basically I got these ones that were added on the last ring folded up all over and out of the way. And then I told you I would let you know about that new tensioning system. So we might as well do that. And I might do something else, later. Because like I said, it's an experiment. But this is what I got going on now. We used to tension them way, tighten up the tension way down here with these screws. I just wrapped this Spectra fiber around it and then hit it with a screwdriver. But at this point, I'm going to be, I need to be able to loosen and tighten the tension easily and quickly. So, and of course, I had to do it with things I had laying around the house. So I got one of these Night Eyes figure 9s here that I've had for a long time. And just so you know, if you guys get these, they got cast marks halfway. And you need to get in there with the file and file those cast marks off and then polish it. Otherwise, it'll chew up your rope really quick. But I'm not sure if you're... Oh, and the other thing I wanted to show you, I'll tilt down even more. I'm sure some of you have probably noticed. Yeah, this right here is a quick kind of tension adjustment. I can just get down there with my fingers and let that loose. And that comes in handy because I don't have to mess with that then. And it's real quick and easy to retension it. Just snap it back on. And then, of course, when I want to totally remove the tree from the stand, I just do that. And then to redo this, just pull on it with one hand, get it real tight, kind of pinch it right here, and just pull it down. Now, if I'm going to work on it for a really long time, I will take it and wrap it around there, and then just give it a quick half hitch. And then get way down here at the bottom. Ooh, that's hard. I can just barely do it. There we go. And then the other thing, I'll say I really want to put a lot of tension on this like I would. Got to move the light back a little bit. If I really want to put a lot of tension on this, I can just hold the thing and then just keep spinning it like this. That's one of the reasons I added that second strand here. So those two strands go all the way up and then, you know, tie to the mount point on the tree. So like a rubber band on a rubber powered balsa wood airplane, you keep twisting this and the tension goes up and up and up. And I imagine if I really wanted to, I could sit and do this for a long time, and I might even ruin my stand here, because that tension is, you can get a lot of tension when you're spinning if you do it long enough. And since each one of these strands here are a 400-pound test, and they were outside in the sun for a long time attached to an 8-meter kite, so they're a little weaker, but since I got two 400-pound tests, I would assume that they'll hold up to about 500 pounds of tension, and that might be enough to blow out my attachment points here, and this thing could just try and stab me in the gut probably. So I don't want to get too much tension on there, just for anybody who's doing this that's not really familiar with tension and what can happen. You got to be kind of careful, or you couldn't end up in the hospital. And once again, always wear eye protection if you're doing this stuff. All these little guys are going to try and poke your eyes out. Give them half a chance. So yeah, I'm going to go around and you know, make sure all these, oh sorry, I probably got too loud, are hitting the plate. And then I'll probably just let it sit for a day or two. And, you know, I'll double check it. But once I'm sure I got my trunk level where I want to be, then I'm going to start working on all the really thin roots that are added here. But I'll show you a video when I get to that point. It'll be a little while. Could be a few days, because I like to work on this point. I like to work on it, let it sit, kind of abuse it a little bit, knock it back and forth, and just make sure I get my level set as good as possible before I get those roots too far out. Because if you don't take your time and get your level set well, and you get your roots way out, it's hard to fix. And granted, you know, this is aluminum. It goes through expansion and contraction. And, you know, many years from now, it could become possibly a little bit unlevel. But because I have my balance points right here, whoever has that tree, you know, after I'm dead, they can just stick a little rubber sticker or some of that wax museum mount under there to take up the difference. So, you know, at least I'm doing my best to make this thing stay as where I want it to for as long as possible. So I guess that's it. Hope everybody's having fun. And my best to you and yours.